What's up, guys? We're going to be doing kind of a defense guide, but not really because I'm still learning the game. More of just like my first castle that was actually somewhat successful. You can build this castle at about level 10. I built it at level 12, and it'll still be good at level 14. After that, I'm not exactly sure how Zeke will scale. Basically, it's revolving around Zeke and how good his damage is right now. But first, I'll just kind of talk about when I first started playing. I just threw together a really scrappy castle with some Cyclopses, and it did absolutely terribly. Like, if I go all the way down, you can see I just lost almost everything. But I wasn't really worried about that because I was just kind of leveling up and just playing more of an attacking role. I didn't really care about defense. And then before I went to sleep last night, I was like just trying to push it to level 12 and build kind of a decent defense, just to hopefully not lose all of my crowns because I was up at like 200 crowns or so. And when I woke up, I was at almost 400 crowns. So this is basically still that first castle that I made, and then it starts up in here somewhere, where I created a new castle somewhere around here, and then I went to sleep, and you can see it did pretty good for me, as these defense ones kind of go through here, and then every once in a while I'll have a defense lost, but for the most part it's pretty good. I'd say over 80% win rate. So just kind of gonna go through the battle log really quick so you guys can kind of see how much it wins, and then we'll go back in and we will take a look at the defense itself. I'm not going to really tell you how to beat it. You have to validate it yourself to be able to do the defense. There are ways of kind of doing this a lot easier than it looks when you first look at it. It took me a little while. Actually, I built this defense kind of based off a couple of castles that I was losing against, and I wanted to see how people were actually beating it. So it took me a couple times to actually validate this. Probably about 5 or 6 at first, and now I can validate it in 1 or 2 tries. People that really worry about that validation thing, you can just keep trying your castle over and over again, and I guess other people can too, but you only have to validate it once, and then it's good against everybody forever until you upgrade your castle in some way. Like, you can see right now my castle isn't validated technically, but it'll use the last rendition of your castle that you were able to validate. So I upgraded a mob in here somewhere. I think I upgraded a bone puppeteer, and I have one right here. So it made it so it was unvalidated again. I'm going to end up changing this entire castle up, but you'll be able to see from the replays this is pretty much exactly how it looked beforehand. I even had Count Nottingham at like level 6 because there's only one specific reason you need Count Nottingham. He doesn't actually need to be leveled up. It's better if he is, obviously, but let's just start off. So basically, I have nothing at the first part of my castle. Everything's in the boss room. The reason for this is because you can aggro more mobs in the boss room. Not even aggro, but you get more tickets because they use this weird ticket system. You get more tickets in the boss room. More creatures can be attacking the hero at once. And I'll talk a little bit more about what I learned about the ticket system a little bit later when I talk about aggro and all of that. So I used to have a mine over here. I removed it because there's no point in having people looting your mines when you have nothing to defend them. I put one over here just in case they skip this mine. It's not on screen right away when they're walking down this corridor, and if they start to switch around and like notice that this is the way to go and they skip this mine, sometimes they have to walk all the way back. You can time them out, or they'll just skip the mine altogether. So it's a way to get maybe 1 star if someone was able to beat your castle. Generally doesn't matter, but I figured throw 1 mine in there, no big deal. We've got these 4 ballista traps here, and I might even be able to make this a little bit more efficient, maybe get 2 more points if I could get rid of one of these generators, but as of right now, I just kind of, like I said, threw this together before I went to sleep last night. You could probably do it better if you spent more time on it. I'm, as you can see, planning to upgrade pretty soon. I have quite a bit of resources, 20,000 of each. I'm level 18 on my archer, and I'm only level 13, and this is actually a level 12 castle validation. So I'm going to validate it again at level 14, and then I'll probably level up maybe to mage or something as I'm catching up and stuff like that. Or I might use the archer to just go after some more crowns because crowns are actually pretty fun to get right now. It's kind of bloodthirsty. If you guys haven't noticed, if you start to accumulate some crowns, people will just attack you like crazy. And I think that's what happened last night, and now my castle is probably red on the attack screen, so it shows like 80+% defense rate, and people have left me alone a lot more since that happened. Anyway, talking about this, so we've got these four ballista traps, and that's to put pressure on this side right here. Because if you guys remember what I said, the AI in this game when you use mouse traps is really weird, and I actually use this to my advantage because when you aggro this group and you go back to this end here, all of them will kind of just stand around in here, and they won't really cross through this this mousetrap, except for Count Nottingham, because he has a ton of hit points. He'll try to go through, but the rest of these guys won't try to go through. So what I did is I put these ballista traps here, so if you're going to try to shoot down this hallway and try to actually kill things across these mouse wheel traps, you have 3+ ballistas always shooting at you no matter where you're standing. So that makes things a lot more difficult for the attacker, and you can't abuse that AI when they're just kind of walking around not really doing anything. So we've got that. Then you have these mouse wheel traps where if someone rolls past them on this side to get on this side of them, basically like the mouse wheel traps roll all the way down to here, someone rolls in and starts to walk up, they will get shoved onto these springboard traps. Springboard traps are also pretty good because even if you do nail it perfectly and you're able to just safe zone right in this little one square right here, you have to wait for the roll cooldown to come back up. You can't get across this without using roll or charge. So to be able to get the roll cooldown back up, you would have to be standing around this one section while being aggroed on by at least 2 Zeeks. I'll talk about why only 2 Zeeks in a little bit, but it has to do with the ticket system. So we've got these three springboard traps that are going to throw you this way. Alright, so there's a reason why I have them here as well. I'll talk about it in a second. And then we have a ballista trap. We have some more ballista traps just around in general to add space control. And then back here, you're pretty much safe. You can fight back here without any trap pressure whatsoever. My reasoning for that is you've aggroed 2 groups, and you have a bunch of things attacking you, as well as everything in the room aggroed. So let's talk about Count Nottingham and what his real purpose is beyond being an okay boss. Alright, so if you guys notice, the normal minions here are very low on their aggro circles. They're quite small, and their aggro range is quite small. However, Count Nottingham and all other bosses have these huge, big aggro rings, and they're really nice to have like this, as well as this huge aggro range. I talk about aggro rings and aggro ranges. I'm going to have to come up with a different name, because technically the blue circle is the aggro range, the yellow circle is like what other things get aggroed, and I don't really know how to actually explain that properly. But basically the yellow circle and the blue circle are both bigger on bosses. So that's his purpose. He wants to aggro these 3 Zeeks and these 3 Defendatrons. The Dr. Skull doesn't really do much. The Puppeteer heals every once in a while, but really the AoE block on the Defendatrons, which is on Sphere of Protection, and the Headshot Archers. The Headshot Archers are what kills people. The Sphere of Protection makes it so that you can't just volley them all down or any other thing. You basically have to deal with at least 1 or 2 of these Defendatrons to be able to time things out properly. Now let's talk about why, you know, the rest of this isn't aggroed, because I could probably move this circle to get most of this aggroed. I'm not sure if you can move boss circles or not, but I haven't tried it, and I'm not going to mess with it right now. So the next thing is these springboard traps. If you get hit by this, you get knocked directly into the vision of this Scorpio, which in turn aggroes 2 more Zeeks, a Defendatron, and another Puppeteer. And if you somehow manage to get away from these things, I want to be able to make sure that this group is aggroed, at least the majority of it is. So I have these 2 Snotters that are basically hugging these walls with their blue aggro circles. So if people don't know what this means, basically the blue is the line of sight of this specific creature, the yellow circle is what gets aggroed. Now I was talking about how the yellow circle is bugged right now, and it doesn't actually visually represent what's actually going to be aggroed when this spotter actually sees something. So basically you can see this yellow circle is way over here. There's no reason for that to be over here, except for these things are highlighted. These are the units that are going to get aggroed. So you can see it's kind of weird, and you just kind of have to play with it. You can see like it's all the way down here. These units aren't actually going to get aggroed by this. It's going to be these ones back here, the ones that are highlighted. So when you're playing around with these circles, you want to use the ones that you want to look for the ones that get highlighted, because those are the ones that are going to actually get aggroed. So basically, this Snotter won't aggro this Scorpio. This Snotter does really well and can aggro everything. I might be able to move his position around, but I think I either have to not aggro this Zeke or not aggro this Scorpio with this Snotter here. But I'm sure I could somehow get it to work, but like I said, I just threw it together. You guys can probably do a better job. This is just a general purpose build, and also you want to, you know, move these aggro ranges around just slightly, but this one actually doesn't matter as much. In this specific scenario, the Count Nottingham is always going to be the one that sees the hero first. Even if you launch like a headshot down here somehow and you end up hitting something, it's always going to be the Count Nottingham. So the Count Nottingham is going to aggro all of this. Alright, so now let's talk about the ticket system and what's actually going to happen when this Count Nottingham sees somebody. All of these units are going to be aggroed, quote unquote, but only, I don't remember the exact number, but it's like 26 or 32 or something like that. However many the boss room ticket is when you look at the patch notes, whatever that number is, that's the number that will actually attack the hero. The rest of them will just follow and act stupid and will just stand around and not do anything. However, okay, so we could have like 2 Zeeks and maybe one of these Defendatrons be aggroed, or like the boss and 1 Zeke or something like that. Okay, that's what could actually be attacking the hero at once. The rest of them will just follow around and get kind of close to the hero, but won't actually attack. Alright, now the thing is, even when they're not attacking, if you hit them, they will start attacking back. So let's say you have this Zeke aggroed and is actually attacking the rest of these guys, and actually just got looted, but either way, I actually boosted my castle level up to 13, so more people can attack me at like level 14 and 15, and I've been getting looted a little bit more. I need to start upgrading everything else so that I can make this a little bit more difficult, but I wanted to do a video on it first. So anyway, what was I saying? Let's say that the Zeke, specifically, is the one that's going to be attacking the hero. The rest of these guys are just following behind. It's extremely difficult to actually just single out this one Zeke and kill it, and then after you kill this one Zeke, one more Zeke will like start firing at you. I mean, that's not exactly what will happen, but you can't actually just hit this one Zeke. You're going to end up making everything fight you because you're going to use either some AoE spell, or you're going to accidentally hit it if you have some sort of a cleave attack as a knight, or a ballista, or one of those 3-bolt things, or use pretty much any mage ability whatsoever. It's going to make all of these guys fight you because you're going to damage them at least a little bit. So that's how this works. Let's watch a couple of replays so you guys can see it in action a little bit more. Yeah, see, like level 16, this was a level 12 validated castle. I need to get up to level 14 before I'm actually going to be able to defend against some of these guys. I'm just going to watch wins for now because I'm not going to reveal the secret in actually beating this defense, because there is one, and currently I'm using it, so probably tomorrow I'll put out like an attacking video and you guys might be able to see one of these castles from somebody else because they're kind of around, and I'll probably end up just using that thing. So we'll just watch things. We'll watch a couple of replays. And I'll just go up to X2. It's probably a little bit loud. I haven't... Yeah, it's quite loud, I think. Let me see if I can lower the sound a little bit. Alright, there we go. That should be better. But I realize people are going to have to validate this. Play around with it a little bit, see if you can get a validation out of it. Play through it, a couple of times. So you guys will see that this is basically the same. This is actually my old rendition. Basically, I had a gold mine over here. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I think. I had one mine over here. I ended up moving it into my boss room, and I also upgraded my Count Nottingham when I revalidated. But it'll still work fine even with like a level 6 Nottingham at level 12, because Nottingham only needs to aggro things. That's all his purpose really is. So you can see the pressure is here. You can't really just stand here and fire down this hallway. And that's the whole purpose of these ballista traps. I could probably even get away with only having 3 of them, but... There, the aggro happened all the way back here. He's got a ton of stuff aggroed on him. He tries to pull things, but he can't fight in here. He has to fight all the way back out here. But if you stay... Close enough. Alright, so like one Zeke ended up coming out. Like every once in a while Zekes will pop their heads out, but it's going to take forever for him to actually get through this if he wants to stay here and wait for these Zekes to actually come out one by one. Because once in a while the mousetrap will push them back, like right here this one might get pushed back. And he's kind of just dancing around here, not really being able to do much of anything. Because of their AI, I'm kind of abusing the AI, but in a different way. So he actually takes 4 minutes, so I'm going to speed it up to X2. Because I don't know what he's actually going to do to be able to try to get through this. He's not really getting anywhere. This wasn't really the best replay because I wanted to see someone who actually kind of went in so you could see how it all works in action a little bit more. Alright, there, he finally goes in now. And then he hits the springboard traps and just kind of dies. And now he's just gonna revive a couple of times to try to... I remember this guy, actually. I watched this replay. He had a legendary drop or an epic drop or whatever the orange one is, and he wants to keep it, so he's gonna keep reviving until he gets through. I think he only has to revive once, though. So I'm just gonna go on, like, 8x to get through it. But yeah, I mean, he can get through it after reviving. And using all of his potions. Which, using all of your potions at level 12 is pretty good either way. It's hard to make good defense that will win at lower levels because you have so many potions. And so few rooms and monsters to use to burn them all up. Let's see if I can find, like, a... This guy actually managed to make it through my castle after losing 9 times to it. We could watch his first playthrough, I guess.
Pathetic excuse for a castle.
Go up to X2 until he gets a little closer. Yeah, there's currently a little bit of a bug with mages. I don't know exactly what you have to do to be able to get to the mines, but it's a weird bug. I hope they fix it soon. Alright. Well, that actually just, he died really quickly. And you guys really didn't get to see it. Here, let me jump back into that so we can see exactly what happened, because I was going through back to 1x and he ended up just dying. I'll quickly get him close to that area, and I'll go back to 1x here. Alright, so he's going to jump in, and then he's going to just get nailed by all the archers as soon as he lands there. So you can see when you get hit by this, you don't really live. It just doesn't happen. Alright, let's look for some other people. I'm looking for just high crown values, because usually those are either higher levels or better players. Level 12 managed to get through. Alright, so here's a level 14 against my level 12 defense. So another mage. Mages kind of have an advantage against these types of things where you put all of your creatures in one room or something like that, because they have a lot of AoE abilities, but at the same time, the Defendatrons really are good at their anti-AoEs. So he gets thrown into the room, and the same basic thing happens. So this is a pretty big kill spot right there, is when you get thrown into there, that stun will kill people pretty often. Alright, let's look for either a knight or a archer. Let's see. Alright, let's do another knight. I can't really find any good archers to show on here.
Who's first? Don't worry, there's plenty of pain to go around.
It's actually surprising there's a lot less archers playing right now. It's mostly mages, a few knights and a few archers.
This is the best part of
So he gets thrown in, but knights can survive a little bit better. They have higher physical defense and higher health. But trying to fight all of this is kind of crazy. And this ability that he's using here will end up basically aggroing everything and making it so that they all attack at the same time. And you can see these AoEs, you can't really go after just the Zeeks, you have to kill off these Defendatrons. Which makes it very difficult. He's actually doing a pretty good job. He spammed through most of his potions to do that, but he did okay. He might have been able to make it through if he was able to use that that last potion. Alright, what's going on? Looks like... okay, there we go. Alright. These are back to defense loss. let's see if I can find any old archer. I'd like someone who's like, I don't want to look through Kazao because he might actually know how to beat it. He's one of the better attackers. Well, he's been up to like level 30 before, I think, so. Alright, we'll look at one of my fans. There's no timer on these replays anymore, I don't think. At least I don't see one. So it's kind of difficult to see if some people just jump in and then say, like, want to leave a comment. A lot of people sometimes will jump in, and when there used to be timers, you could see if it was like 5-second long replay, and then you wouldn't watch it. But alright, go back to 1x. Gets thrown in. He actually didn't make it to the springboard traps. That's kind of a first. And see, Count Nottingham will walk across. He's only level 6 now. As I said, I had him at level 6 when I went to sleep because I didn't have enough resources to upgrade him. He'd take like 6,000 life force or something. This is one of the first defenses that can really start winning in the early game, I would say. There's some cool things you can do with Dr. Skull right at level 8, and then all the way up to around level 14 you can do it with Dr. Skull. After that, volley gets a little bit good. Back then I also didn't validate that one Snotter, because I didn't want to have to go through it again, basically. So, yeah, you can see, it works pretty good. He's going to revive. I'm going to go to 2x if it'll work. There we go.
Don't so good over here. You can keep a good man down. Excellent.
You can do a similar thing with Pete Poundmore and stuff like that. It doesn't work quite as well though. And then we got another win just a second ago. Might watch that depending. Looks like he's going to go through my castle a couple of times. Alright, we'll watch his first playthrough. But yeah, you can do something similar with Pete Poundmore. The problem is he's a little bit quick, so he'll get away from the Defendatrons and then you can start killing those off. As well as, he's a melee unit, so he won't stand back in with all of the other ones who don't have tickets to attack you. Whereas Zeke will kind of attack even behind them sometimes, and the ones that don't have tickets will act as kind of a meat shield, and then as soon as you attack them, they'll start attacking you back and all of that. So this is my latest rendition of the castle because it just happened. Level 10 Nottingham. Snotter is aggroed, and he dies really quickly again. Just that springboard trap throwing them. It's pretty good. And he's going to just keep trying until he hopefully beats it or possibly won't. And you can see all of the tombstones that are just kind of left around. I don't think I'm a high enough level to actually get resources off these tombstones. Actually, it looked like I did. I got about 500 off of it. So that's not too bad. But yeah, I'm going to use something very similar at a level 14 castle. I may add in a secondary group here and split my defense up from here and here. I'm not sure, because I think that this would work also. Pretty much any choke like this, you could put 2 mouse wheel traps in here and do the same basic thing, a couple ballista traps, and then they'd actually have less room to move back and start attacking back in here. So that could work. I might actually try that. But yeah, that's pretty much my defense as of right now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll bring out maybe an attacking video tomorrow. If you guys have any ideas of what you guys want to see me do, you know, you can throw me some suggestions. I'm still not doing viewer castles just because I want to get a better feel for the game and understanding and all of that sort of thing. So I'll probably start taking requests later this week. I'll put out a video on it, something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.